This is AP News.
Big color, bigger savings. Sherwin-Williams Super Sale is here. Get 40% off paints and stains April 24th through the 27th with prices starting at $30.89. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Breaking news for your home. Way Day. Wayfair's big sale is almost here, and you can score the best deals in home, like up to 80% off everything home. Yes, you heard that right. 80% off with free shipping on everything. Plus surprise flash deals all Way Day long. We're talking outdoor furniture and essentials, rugs, and more. All at Wayfair, and all up to 80% off during Way Day. Shop Wayfair's Way Day from April 25th through 27th. Wayfair.
Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in 4 directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy. But with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College, your journey to success starts here.
After 20 years of service, the Metro Blue Line is ready for essential improvements. A multi-year transformation is underway, bringing a better, smoother Blue Line experience. Renew the Blue will preserve and protect a critical piece of our infrastructure investment, helping it remain a safe, reliable, and affordable transit option for many years to come. Learn more about Renew the Blue at metrotransit.org/renew-the-blue.
There's a powerful story being shared at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. Unchi Said So, a solo exhibition by Danielle Seawalker, brings forward Native stories shaped by collective identity, generational knowledge, and teachings passed down through community. Through bold color and portraiture, this work honors the significance of grandmothers in Native culture while reflecting the idea that sovereignty begins at home. On view now through June 6th. Plan your visit today at allmyrelationsarts.org.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. This evening, showers and thunderstorms followed by clearing overnight with a low of 45. Then Friday, sunshine with a high of 63. Warmer weather is on the horizon, and what better way to welcome it back than with a fantastic meal and a show at Crooner's Supper Club. Crooner's is located in Fridley on Highway 65, just north of I-694. CroonersMN.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more regressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake. Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events. And as you know, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Hey, tonight we're going to have our friend Robert Lilligren, CEO of Native American Community Development Institute here in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, and then later on, Wendy Pilot with another update, a sacred animal update of what's going on. Hey, before I get Robert on, I just want to give a quick shout out to New Native Theater, The Bird Blind. I went to the play last night. It was amazing. Big shout out to New Native Theater. And if you want more information, newnativetheater.com. And also the play is at University Avenue in St. Paul at 825 University Avenue, and it's the 825 Theater. So it was a lot of fun and very heavy duty and awesome show last night. So I'll be going out there again. Hey, and before any ado here, I would love to bring on Robert Lilligren, CEO of Native American Community Development Institute. Robert, thanks as always for coming on. Great to see you, and welcome to Native Roots Radio as always.
Yeah, bonjour, Robert. It's always a pleasure to be here. I appreciate the time.
Yes, and we really enjoy the time with you. A lot going on, but you know what? I'd like to switch it up a little today and talk a little bit about Native American Community Development Institute on the top of our show today, and so much going on and so many good things, and you know, the Franklin Corridor, there's signs on Franklin talking about it being the Franklin Corridor, and all the things that Native American Community Development Institute do for our people here. It's amazing. And I know we love to talk about politics and stuff like that, but I'd love to lead off with what's happening with Native American Community Development Institute.
Oh, thanks for that, Robert. I appreciate it. And I want to be super clear. Native American Community Development Institute, NACDI, our organization, is really part of a lot of what's going on, but we are intermediary, right? We work with partners. We exist only in community, and so I love what I love the compliments, Robert, but I don't want to give the impression that somehow we're the be all and end all on the American Indian Culture Corridor in the community. But you're right. There is a lot going on, a lot of really good things. Specific to NACDI, our organization, we're just on the threshold of our busy programming season. And so we have our Four Sisters Farmers Market. We're taking vendor applications right now, always welcoming more food vendors. You can go to the NACDI website, nacdi.org, nacdi.org, or the Four Sisters Farmers Market Facebook page for more information there. We have a really healthy number of vendor applicants right now, and we're always looking for more food vendors. I just heard the promotion for our show at All My Relations Arts, so Unsi said so, always big. Our Make Voting a Tradition project is ramping up for the midterm elections. It's a year-round program of engaging community in the policy process, the political process, nonpartisan, of course. We're a nonprofit, a 501c3, but a really effective, very grassroots effort. Our brilliant manager of that program, Jolene Jones, who I call our secret weapon, really promotes this. It's expanding beyond the cultural corridor, beyond the metro, and is statewide engagement, and also engaging with some of our rural communities and tribes. This is a whole different ballgame as far as elections go, so we're having to plan in different ways, a lot around voter safety and security, polling place safety and security, as well as outreach and turnout. So that's happening, and a big deal thing that's community-wide is preparations for Indian Month kickoff, which is May 1st here in Minnesota. Has kind of a unique status of May is Indian Month, and of course in the fall we look at American Indian History Month. But this is kind of ours, and it was an initiative of AIMS, American Indian Movement, back in the 70s that established American Indian Week. It has since been expanded to a month. It's recognized statewide thanks to our governor and lieutenant governor. And it's kind of a big deal. And so the kickoff is a big march, a sort of a parade, community celebration on May 1st that afternoon at the Minneapolis American Indian Center. There'll be a powwow there, but the whole month is filled with celebrations, open houses, community forums, and I really respect how the community has stepped in to make this month meaningful. And so a lot going on in May. You can check out the Metropolitan Urban Indian Director's website. That's muidmn.org. We're trying to consolidate a full community calendar there, but there is a lot happening.
Yeah, that's exciting, and it's a good time, and the weather's a little more friendly too in May than the National Indian Month. But hey,
Don't jinx it, Robert. We'll see. We've had some kind of cold and stormy Indian Month kickoff events, and so for folks outside of the city that don't know, last year, the night before Indian Month kickoff, we had a big community tragedy. Gun violence, and we lost 5 relatives during that gun violence. And so out of respect for the victims, the relatives, we actually canceled the kickoff event, after a lot of preparation, and we turned it into a community prayer. And the park where the event kicks off, it'll be again this year at 10 a.m. at Cedarfield Park at Little Earth of United Tribes. The park, we held a community prayer, and I really didn't think anyone was going to show up, Robert, because it was less than a block away from one of the scenes of the shooting, and there were hundreds of people there, respected community, cultural carriers, and spiritual carriers led us in prayer. So we're actually going to acknowledge, since it's been exactly a year since that event, we're going to acknowledge that. So we'll start in prayer and ceremony, and then hopefully celebration.
Yes, thank you for reminding me of that. And I went to that too. One of the fun things too that's going to happen during the parade is a float. Is Native American Community Development Institute putting in a float this year?
I'm not sure. There is a float contest, and it's really celebrated in the community. And so we help coordinate that. We have a panel of respected elders that judge it. So there's to kind of mitigate any kind of accusations of insider trading or anything. But we coordinate that. We have a traveling trophy now. I don't know if you've seen it. It's this beautiful eagle trophy. I think this will be the third year.
This will be the third,
and prizes, and so that'll be lovely, and then pretty much I shouldn't say every Native org, but a lot of Native orgs hold open houses to engage the community and really popularize the work that we do. And so our organization, Native American Community Development Institute, NACDI, is on May 8th. It's launched right in our parking lot at Powell Grounds. We'll have food and fun drawings and things, and a lot of community engagement. And I will say this: 2 things about May 8th. One, it's my mom's birthday, my dearly devoted ancestor. And it is my 10th anniversary this year of my having this position at NACDI. So it'll be
on May 8th?
Yeah. I can always remember my start date because it's my mom's birthday. Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
that's cool. That's very cool. Hey, Robert, we're going to take a quick break. I don't hear the bumper music, but I do see the clock, and this is Native Roots Radio, and we'll be right back after this short break.
There's a powerful story being shared at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. She Said So, a solo exhibition by Danielle Seawalker, brings forward Native stories shaped by collective identity, generational knowledge, and teachings passed down through community. Through bold color and portraiture, this work honors the significance of grandmothers in Native culture while reflecting the idea that sovereignty begins at home. On view now through June 6th. Plan your visit today at allmyrelationsarts.org.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. For a meal that feeds your soul and health, check out Gatherings Cafe. Located in the renovative Minneapolis American Indian Center, Executive Chef Vernon Defoe and team serve up incredible indigenous flavors. Gatherings Cafe has amazing bison tacos featuring lean protein from native wise, corn tortillas, and homemade sides. It's fresh, local food rooted in ancestral knowledge. Stop by for breakfast or lunch. That's Gatherings Cafe, where tradition meets innovation.
After 20 years of service, the Metro Blue Line is ready for essential improvements. A multi-year transformation is underway, bringing a better, smoother blue light experience. Renew the Blue will preserve and protect a critical piece of our infrastructure investment, helping it remain a safe, reliable, and affordable transit option for many years to come. Learn more about Renew the Blue at metrotransit.org/renew-the-blue.
I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and I want to be your next United States Senator, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert Pilot, and we are with our friend Robert Lilligren, Native American Community Development Institute CEO, and all-around cool guy. Robert, let's finish up a little bit here on what's happening at Native American Community Development Institute and during the month of May.
Right. So I just during the break took a quick look at the muidmn.org website. There's a great calendar. I know some of NACDI's communication staff were part of putting this together. For folks who have done this before and for folks who don't know, it's surprisingly hard to assemble a community calendar and keep it current and things. But if you go to the muidmn.org website, there's a whole link to American Indian Month activities, the outline of the May 1st kickoff contest, the application for your parade float contest entry, and then a whole calendar of events, and we keep adding to that. And just quickly looking at the calendar of events, Robert, there are only 6 days that don't have anything on the calendar, and I suspect that those will also fill up. And so it's evidence of how our community really embraces this community celebration, how we have employed it as a strategy for visibility, and encourage people to check it out and to participate.
That's awesome. One of the things I talked to Ruth Anna Buffalo about last week was, they have their open house at Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center, or Minneapolis Indian Women's Resource Center. And I'm always excited to hear about the cakewalk because I'm an old cakewalker from way back in the 60s. I don't know if you did that in school, Robert.
Way back when. So MAWRC is actually Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center. Great organization. Ruth Buffalo, we're so fortunate to have her here in our immediate ecosystem. She's only been here in that role for a year, coming up on 2 years maybe. And but she's been part of the community here. She's a high-profile politician, a former state representative of North Dakota, and she has really done amazing things for the public-facing part of Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center, MAWRC, and it's very open now in ways that in the past I think they've been hesitant to do that because they have a vulnerable service population, right? serve those a lot of women who are in domestic violence situations and other things. But now they have a drop-in center. They do public community meals. They have cultural activities and things. And then this cakewalk. And I haven't been in a cakewalk, seriously, Robert, probably for 55 years, something like that. So we'll see how that goes.
Cakewalk reminds me of what was it? Musical chairs, kind of like the except it's on a number around the floor. But I regress. I just think it's funny and
no, I love it. And I haven't seen. Are they asking for donations, cake donations, or?
Oh, I think they are. I'll have to get back to her and maybe I'll have. Well, I won't have her on this week, but next week, I'll definitely talk to her and ask her about that. But that I feel like there's a lot of fun traditions, and that's a great tradition. And
maybe I'll bake a cake.
Yeah.
Wow. I'd ask my husband to bake a cake. He's the best baker in the family. But I'll pass it off as my own.
Yeah. Well, now you sound more like me. We're hanging out too much here. That's crazy. Well, there's so much going on, and I want to just touch base because as people may or may not know, Robert, you are really politically tied in with what's going on nationally and locally, a former city council member for many, many years, first Native American, an openly gay city council member, first one. And we talk about politics a lot, and I just am really, it's a double-edged sword. We had Earth Day, and then we have an attack at the Boundary Waters, which is just amazing thing that Minnesota has.
Yeah, so thanks for going over my resume. I want to be super clear. I was not the first openly gay Minneapolis City Council member. I was the second. And so I followed in the footsteps of legendary Brian Coyle, great friend of the community. So, but I got in there second, and on my first day, achieved the office of vice president, which Brian Coyle became vice president after a couple of terms, I think. So I just want to be clear. I don't want to claim accolades that I don't deserve, but and and I try to stay engaged in politics. And this year I've been a little more active in a lot of ways because of the interesting candidates, but I will point out, and I don't have actual numbers here, so I probably shouldn't say anything, but when I was elected to Minneapolis City Council back in 2001, there was some small number, around 250, maybe openly gay elected officials in the whole country. And now it's thousands of elected officials. And so for me, it's at this point in my life, it's gratifying to look at that kind of progress. And then in Minnesota, there were very few Native elected officials. And so it was an honor to be the first to serve on Minneapolis City Council. But now, as you know, you probably have a better count than me, but it's dozens, right, of Native elected officials across the state.
Yeah, I know 2 cycles ago, I think we had 12 out of 13 Native Americans win. It's something like that. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. So it's progress, right? And I think it's important for us to take a minute and recognize that progress and to acknowledge the importance of supporting these Native people who are willing to go into public office like this, go into hostile environments, serve in bodies that were historically meant to eliminate us, and go inside and see how we can change the system from the inside. And these folks are not sellouts. They are people, very courageous people, and they deserve our support. I look at Senator Mary Kunesh as a primary example. I mean, she has changed systems, established the Office of Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives, advanced other policy objectives for the community. It just really highlights the importance of having a place at the table.
Absolutely. And I just got to give a shout out to State Senator Mary Kunesh. She's on our Friday show, and we love having her. And And, just getting a report from her, it's been, almost as long as you've been on as she's been on, Robert. And it's amazing. And one of the things that's really exciting with her is that, well, let me ask you this, because you a former city council member. I asked her this because it sure seems like she does a lot of bills, and a lot of representatives don't do any bills. And I mean, did you have that in the city council too, where it seemed like a few people were doing the heavy lifting and everyone else was kind of, I don't know. It just seems weird. But she's put out the positive end of it is she's put out a lot of bills, like you said.
Agree. And I think that's a really good observation, Robert. And, some people, when I served on city council, I had some city council colleagues that would just, sponsor bills like crazy, just like they were trying to rack them up, kind of. And, I did a lot. I actually have the record for the most ordinances introduced because we were doing Minneapolis city charter reform. And as city council vice president, it kind of fell on my purview to introduce them. So it was like one fell swoop. It was like 1,500 ordinance introductions. But I wasn't trying to rack it up. I would listen to community. And first off, if there were issues to be addressed, try to address them within the existing legal framework. And if that weren't possible, then introduce bills. So there's a quantity versus quality kind of dynamic. But Senator Kunesh is exemplary. I mean, she is translating community concern into legislative action in really a beautiful way. And the other one I want to lift up is the recently elected Minnesota State Representative Shelley Buck from East Metro, former elected official of the Prairie Island community here. And she is making a splash, and I'm just thrilled to see that and to support her in her work. And you brought up the boundary waters, and she has really become a face and voice of opposition to opening up the boundary waters to mining.
Yeah, absolutely. When I was a legislator for my tribe, she was president of Prairie Island, and all those good things that happen with them, and her transforming into state politics was an easy transition in many ways, but also, like you said earlier, kudos for our relatives that are doing that, because there's a lot of arrows being shot at them.
Always. And Shelley and I talk about that, Representative Buck now, and others, about Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, just how vulnerable you are, and trying to engage with the community to a big level to point that out. Support these people. You don't have to agree with them, but we need to support them.
Absolutely. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and we're going to be back with Robert Lilligren for one more segment. We'll be right back. This is Native Roots Radio. I just like saying that, Native Roots Radio. Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Did you know that the Walker has a cinema that shows film almost every week? From artist talks, genre-defined performances, and world premieres to archival shorts and experimental soundscapes, the Walker Cinema explores all modes of global and local filmmaking. Get your first tickets for free. Visit walkerart.org/cinema to learn more. That's walkerart.org/cinema. See you at the movies.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College. Your journey to success starts here.
This is Chase Iron Eyes announcing a new show on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota, powered by Native Roots Radio. The show is called Native American Patriot Talk Radio. What will we do on the show? We are going to explore and dive into the source of American constitutional sovereignty, the intersection of Native American and legal issues. Find us the first and third Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. on AM 950.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center, an art space that's more than the spoon and cherry. Galleries celebrate contemporary visual art, including indigenous artists like Edgar Heap of Birds from the Cheyenne and Arapaho nations, and Jim Deminy from the Ojibwe Nation. Additionally, film screens, cinema, and performances are shown on stage. And the Walker is free every Thursday night and free every day for citizens and members of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
After 20 years of service, the Metro Blue Line is ready for essential improvements. A multi-year transformation is underway, bringing a better, smoother Blue Line experience. Renew the Blue will preserve and protect a critical piece of our infrastructure investment, helping it remain a safe, reliable, and affordable transit option for many years to come. Learn more about Renew the Blue at metrotransit.org/renew-the-blue.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Local artist Rosie Simas, Seneca Nation of Indians, Huron Clan, embodies Onondaga philosophies of peacemaking and relationality in new immersive installation. Visit Agajengwa, Destiny Gowe Weni. I hope it'll stir your mind and explore a space built for communal rest and contemplation. Simas presents a performance of the same name this May. Learn more about the exhibition and performance at walkerart.org.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilligren. This evening, showers and thunderstorms followed by clearing overnight with a low of 45. Then Friday, sunshine with a high of 63. Step into the magic of the Wizard of Oz at Children's Theater Company now through June 14th. Featuring the beloved songs from the classic film, breathtaking stage magic, and a real-life Toto. Get tickets today at childrenstheater.org.
You're listening to AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert Pilot, and hey, we have Robert Lilligren with us, CEO of Native American Community Development Institute here in Minneapolis and Minnesota, and we're just chewing the old fat here, talking about a few things here. Robert, you were talking about Shelley, a new representative out of Minnesota, Shelley Buck, and really jumping on the boundary waters and clean water thing. It's amazing that we feel like we're being attacked again because of a sense of, we are all about clean water and things like that. And I know for you personally, you're a bike rider, so your carbon footprint must be way down. And then I also have to give you a quick shout out before you respond is, when I look at the bikeway, and maybe you can talk a little bit about that, I always think of you and in what a mess that was and how that's become really, I don't know, a really beacon in the neighborhood, but also in the city of Minneapolis.
Thanks, Robert, for bringing that up. And it's the Midtown Greenway, I assume, that you're talking about. And it's a reused, abandoned rail trench that goes completely across the city limits in South Minneapolis. So from the Mississippi River to the lakes. And it's about 4.5 miles, maybe. Years ago, before I was even on Minneapolis City Council, I was a board member of the Midtown Greenway Coalition that advocated for the creation of this amenity, but and for me, what was super important is that it came through this central part of the city that didn't have a lot of green amenities, but also didn't. There was a lot of fear about this area, primarily the Phillips area, Phillips neighborhood back then. And so it was able to bring people who normally wouldn't travel through the Phillips area and bring them into close contact with people who lived there, worked there, recreated there. And so it was just a big positive sort of social piece of infrastructure as well. And I use it all the time. So I used to live right on the Greenway back when I was advocating for it. Now I've moved just about a mile away. But so yeah, thanks for that. And then kind of going back to what's going on with the boundary waters, and I'm guessing most of our listeners know what the boundary waters are, but it's this pristine part of wilderness between the U.S. and Canada. Northern Minnesota is the access point, and the Senate just voted to end a 20-year ban on copper mining, or on mining in the boundary waters area. So the expectation is now at least one foreign interest is going to apply to mine and desecrate this. And our dear friend and Dakota sister from Prairie Island, now State Representative Shelley Buck, has become a prominent voice in opposition to this, and encouraging people to recognize the land, the water, everything there as relatives, right? And to care for them as relatives. And I've been so impressed with Representative Shelley Buck's voice, her way of operating, and she serves us very well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that we need more, and we need more, and we talked about more, and then Shelley ran and won. So it's great.
Yeah. Doing a great campaign. She's doing a great job. I mean, she's only been in office a few months, right?
Right.
It's a special election, and so yeah, she's really stepping up, and it's just an honor to be a colleague. I've had the privilege of working with her fairly closely over the last 5 years on a number of projects. Omni NACDI, for example, the falls right in the Central Business District. When I was chair of the Meet Minneapolis, our convention and visitors association, she joined the board. We got her on the executive committee, and she's a courageous person who's not afraid to step into those risky leadership spaces.
Yeah, definitely. And we're really blessed to have Native Americans. Heather Keeler now is running for Congress. What did you say?
So exciting. Heather Keeler, she's currently a state
representative.
Yeah, right. Stepping in. Yeah.
Going up against Fishbach, and I think this is the time to do it. When you and I have talked about this too, that as of right now, it may change, but as of right now, if you are a Republican and haven't won by over 15%, you're in trouble.
Right. And I don't know if you've seen just the last few days media around how current Congressperson Michelle Fishbach is vulnerable within her own party. And, and so, you guys fight there, depress turnout and support. So create a path for Heather Keeler to become a Native congresswoman who happens to be Native. That's kind of hopeful, right? So, it was interesting, Robert. I was reading some mainstream media, and they kept talking about Fishbach's district as so solidly red and solidly Republican. And before Michelle Fishbach represented it was represented by a Democrat, right?
Yeah,
he's very blue doggy, but he was still a Democrat. So I don't kind of get where the media comes off saying it's a solidly Republican district. And in this year, when every midterm election, local election in the last few years shows that Republicans are losing support in the double digits, like you said, I think she's competitive.
I believe so too, and it would be great to have her. And she's working her rear end off. I see her. I follow her, and the thing about her district is there's a lot of land to cover. Not only and it's spread out up there. It's the northwest part. It's across from. Well, it's a big area.
It's huge. It's about I don't even know. I'm just making this up, but it's like 20% of the whole state in area, right? So that's rural Minnesota. You have to travel a lot. But I was just talking to some young aspiring political folks recently, and I said, campaigning isn't magical. It's strategic, but mostly it's hard work. It's backbreaking work. And if you're not willing to do that work, then find something else. There's other ways to serve, but you give a lot to run for office. So I respect Heather and I respect everyone who steps in for office. But she is doing the work. I follow her as well. And I am super impressed with her performance in her campaign.
Yeah, and and then we have. I think everybody's up for re-election. You were talking about State Senator Mary Kunis. She's got her endorsement from her area, and up in Duluth, Lish, and she's going to be running again, running again.
Yep. It's a active political year here, but I'll point this out, Robert, that we have our Make Voting a Tradition. It's kind of a centerpiece civic engagement project at NACDI. And for us here in the city of Minneapolis, we are on, is it the 5th or the 6th year of elections every single year, either local or others, right? I think this is 6. The next year will be 7, and then we get a year off. But it's just been an intense time for engaging in politics, getting Native folks out to vote, and we are, right? And we're not a huge population, but in this day and age, when elections are won by very, very narrow margins, Native people are demonstrably the swing in a number of elections.
Yes. And we proved that in 2020 for sure. Very interesting. I just got to give you a quick shout out too. I was at the University of Minnesota annual powwow, and I gotta make voting a tradition new tie-dye shirt that I'll be supporting.
Oh yeah, nice, huh? Yeah, so every year we have this gorgeous logo. It was created by a rural Native artist, and every year we put out a different shirt every election cycle. That's a different color and design, and this year's our blue tie-dye, meant to really represent water. We've done a number of research projects through Make Voting a Tradition, often with national partners, about what motivates Native people into the voting booth. And caring for Mother Earth and caring for water is primary. Environment is a primary motivator for Native people, and so we try to capitalize on that. And I have my Make Voting a Tradition blue tie-dye shirt. And maybe I'll wear it on Indian Month Kickoff.
Hey. We'll be twins then. So we're winding up here this segment, and we're gonna have Wendy on next. How can people find out more information, and maybe even talk about MUD again, but more information about Native American Community Development Institute?
Yeah, I'd encourage you to go to our website. We have great communications folks. Alex Buffalo Head and M. Matson, and so things stay very current. I would also encourage you to follow our social media. I'm an old fart, so I use Facebook, but across the social media platforms, things are very, very current. And then Metropolitan Urban Indian Directors, MUIDMN.org website really keeps a calendar current, also on social media, but there's a lot going on. And as you know, you're a communications guy. Keeping things current and fresh is a lot of work.
Yes, it is. And, we didn't even talk about your work with the Met Council. There's things happening there that are amazing and a lot of reach out to the community, especially with the light rail happening right on Franklin Avenue there.
It is. I'm going to Detroit to talk to the National Planning Association's work that you've been part of at the Metropolitan Council. That's our regional government here. I'm a representative there appointed by the governor there. And then I just love sitting during your commercial breaks because the concentric circles, or not concentric circles, but the Venn diagram of my life. You know, my council runs Met Transit. I'm a board member of the Walker Arts Center, all the work going on American Indian Culture Code. It's like, oh yeah, this is kind of me here in the commercial.
You know that, yeah, the commercial break. That's right. That's absolutely right. Hey, Robert, thank you so much for coming back on, and I hope you're well rested after your little vacation.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, we'll see you soon. I have news to give you a call in the next couple days to tell you about. Yeah, definitely. We'll be talking soon. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio. Up next, Wendy Pilot with the update of her sacred animal. Here we go.
Stay with us.
Yeah, there's Wendy. Hey, we'll be right back. Thanks, Robert.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College. Your journey to success starts here.
Oh, this is Robert Pilot. For Native relatives, healing is more than just sobriety. It's reclaiming Indigenous masculinity as a sacred, balanced force. Join Hunter Thundercloud for Native Roots Radio presents Controlled Fire. We explore how personal recovery uplifts our communities. It's time men step back into roles as mentors and spiritual leaders. Recovery is collective, and it starts with us. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of every month at 6 p.m. for Native Roots Radio presents Controlled Fire. Let's tend the fire together.
After 20 years of service, the Metro Blue Line is ready for essential improvements. A multi-year transformation is underway, bringing a better, smoother Blue Line experience. Renew the Blue will preserve and protect a critical piece of our infrastructure investment, helping it remain a safe, reliable, and affordable transit option for many years to come. Learn more about Renew the Blue at metrotransit.org/renew-the-blue.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hi, it's Dr. Evan Adams, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio. Hey, Victor, you better be listening.
In this portion of the show, we'd like to bring awareness to our wolf and bear populations throughout Turtle Island. Say no to the hunts.
Hey, welcome back to Native Roots Radio. I am Robert Pilot, and I'm with Wendy Pilot, my awesome and beautiful wife. Wendy, you've been picking up some new Facebook fans, or friends, I should say.
I really have. It's been awesome. So I put my personal Facebook page out there. I'm not really sure whether that was the greatest thing to do, but hey, why not? You know, if I get trolls, which I know I will, you know, people who are just downright mean and have nothing else to do, I could just delete them and block them. So that's a good thing. But I do appreciate all the Facebook friend requests. It's been really good. Again, people know me, you know, friend me, know my thoughts, my feelings about things, and my politics. So yeah, it is what it is. But so I've been talking about the Rigland farms in Wisconsin for a while now. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to always bring it up and just ask people, remind everyone to go to savethedogs.io and find out how you can help And eventually we're going to get these dogs out of there. We really have to. I was talking to a couple of people today via text, via Facebook Messenger, who were there. And we were just asking each other, like, how do you feel? You know, like, because like, we feel like we've been through a lot, like just really emotionally leaving those dogs behind was really, really tough, like really, really tough. And so yeah, I mean, it just is. So we're just gonna keep on trucking and keep the foot to the pedal to the gas and just, keep on doing what we can do.
Yeah,
We just
definitely.
have to do it. And again, I'm going to remind everyone to give Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers a call. He's kind of he's not saying that he supports what we're doing. He doesn't say whether he supports, Rigland Farms and what they're doing. All he says is, I don't have the authority to do anything, but he doesn't stand on anything either. So, you know what? Take a stand.
Yeah.
Whatever position it is, just take a stand and be that.
That's a little disappointing seeing that
really
he's out the
is.
door here.
I
He's
know.
not running again, and I know he's
Well,
getting older. But why wouldn't you say something? Especially he's been
exactly.
real
He could.
progressive in many, many
I
ways.
know. He's been on your show so many
Yeah.
times, just with lots of updates, and he's really helped us a lot with, the wolf hunt, in Wisconsin and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So it is really, really surprising to me. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, what a great legacy he could leave office with if he just takes a stand.
Yeah. And then we have the opposite of that of, somebody that was running still. And matter of fact, Mark Pocan
Yes,
stepping up, and
Yes.
that's an amazing, and that's
really
right down the, and he's Wisconsin.
He's a House
representative,
Yep.
and I've met him a bunch of times and got, I used to be the selfie king back in the day, and
Still are.
yeah, not as
Don't
much.
let 'em lie.
All right. Hey, and he's on Tom Hartman once a week too, which is, he kind of took the place of Bernie, because Bernie was on Tom Hartman for many, many years.
Yeah.
And that's so funny. Bernie Sanders, they always say, oh, he came from nowhere. And it was like, no, I mean, he was on Tom Hartman for many, many years. I remember a good friend of mine at the time was talking to me about him and how common sense he was. And before he became really national, and he was on here locally on AM 950 on Tom Hartman.
Yeah. Well, RFK Jr. is like spouting off that he doesn't want any animal testing. He's going to stop it and blah, blah, blah. He hasn't done anything. So Mark Pocan got into his face this video saying, talking about the Rigland Farm dogs and what's happening there and what's going on and all the violations that they have and why isn't this place shut down?
And
This
you have
is
to look it
ridiculous.
up.
And RFK is like, I don't know anything about it. I can't, I have something I have to look into.
I didn't know you did impersonation.
I don't.
That was good. Can you do an impersonation of me? Let's hear it. I know you pull it out of your pocket every once in a while.
Oh my God.
There's a couple
I'll
of them.
come up with something.
Oh, you have some
something,
stuff. But hey, we got to keep talking about it, Wendy, and you're still working on things with this organization.
Yeah, Sunday we have a debriefing type of Zoom meeting. Again, there were people from all over the United States who flew in, drove in. I mean, it's amazing. I drove 4.5 hours.
You were exhausted
with 2 stops at the rest stop, and there's people who flew in from Hawaii and drove in from North Carolina and all over the place. So, good for them.
Again,
really.
when I hear that, it just reminds me so much of Standing Rock and the people and allies, white allies, but all the tribes from all over the world coming to, and we just gotta keep on, being able to resist and divest and join a group and run for office and get those dogs out.
We really do have to get the dogs out. We really do. I'm waiting for the call because I signed up for a transport. So I
Oh,
signed
that's
up.
old school. We
I
used to
know,
do
we
that
used
all
to
the
do that,
time.
right? We
Yeah.
used to do that.
Talk
So
about that for a second, because that was amazing work
it
that you
really
did.
was. So we worked with this woman. Her name was Tara Harris, and she runs, I believe she still does, she runs a rescue organization in Indiana called Every Dog Counts Rescue.
Mm.
And she would get, she would go into the shelters and take the dogs that were on the euthanasia list, who've been there for a really long time. And she used to take them and find fosters for them.
Mhm.
And actually,
7 legs.
she was actually able to find a lot of fosters here in Minnesota.
Mhm.
So she would get the dogs and arrange foster care. She never took a dog unless she could have, foster for it, which I really respect her for doing that, because that's a hard thing. You want to take a dog, but you don't have a foster, and you just can't take the dog. But anyway, yeah, we were the 7th leg on the transport. So the dogs used to leave Indiana early in the morning, and they would drive all through different wherever the line was. I used to have it down,
Yeah.
how many miles
I can't
each.
remember.
Yeah, I can't either. But anyway, Robert and I, we used to drive
The
to last leg, the 7th leg, which is really good leg to
In Eau Claire, right?
Yep, we used to
Eau Claire,
drive to
Wisconsin.
Yeah, we used to leave St. Paul and go to Eau Claire, Wisconsin, meet the 6th leg, and we were the 7th leg, and we would have all the carts. I would know how many
wow,
dogs there
yeah.
were, how much they weighed, pictures of the dogs, so I knew kind of like what size crate they needed. We used to pack up the car with all kinds of supplies, and the crates were all ready for the dogs. And we used to meet the 6th leg and get the dogs into the crates and drive from Eau Claire, Wisconsin to usually Woodbury. We
Yeah.
would drop them off in Woodbury, and the
Yeah.
fosters would come from different rescue organizations
'em
and
up.
pick the dogs up and would have their paperwork. And it was
Underground.
it was like the Underground Railroad. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And that kind of, and we're going to end the show here real soon, but that kind of got us into adopting older dogs like we did.
Yes.
And because they were so grateful and they knew that they were safe, and I'm going to cry. It
I
was like,
know. And Robert, whoever drove back from Eau Claire would just have a dog on their lap.
well,
So
that
we
was the
would-
deal they made with
Yeah,
you.
we would have a dog on our lap. So you would drive there, or sometimes I'd drive both ways,
Right. Because that was your deal.
It was my deal. Yeah, it was really funny because, I told Robert I wanted to do this, and I was like, I'd like you to come with me if you want to, but this is what I want to do. So he was like, okay, you have to get the crates, you have to clean the crates, you have to get everything in the car, you have to do everything. I'm just going to be the passenger. But after a few times, Robert was like, get in the crates. How many crates do we need? What do we have to do? And you were like just into it as much as I was. So,
Definitely. And loved holding those dogs that knew they were going to be safe.
yes.
Hey, this is Native Roots Radio. Thanks again to Robert Lilligren for stopping in, and Wendy, and for your update about what's going on. Really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Wish I had better news.
Yeah. Hey, we're still here. We are the 7th generation. We'll see you tomorrow.
Get the wriggling dogs out.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations.